So I've been talking to a friend this morning, and she's going through something that it's kind of like the perfect blueprint demonstration to how to actually raise the quality of experience in your life in any area. Doesn't matter. Any and every area. And also why it stays the same no matter what you supposedly quote unquote do. So I'll share with you her proverbial story to start. So this friend, she was in a job that she really hated, in an industry that is like really, it's like what she was trained in, but it's like really stressful for her. But she's never worked in anything else. Like, this is kind of all she knows as far as career. And last month she found out she was getting laid off. Like, the team she was on was getting deconstructed. So she was really scared and kind of panicked about what was going to happen next, like what she was going to do for money and for work. And she was flip-flopping. It's like part of her wanted to actually trust that life would provide no matter what would happen. But the scared part of her that had all of the matter, that was invested in containing herself and being attached to a certain outcome, it's like that part of her won in that moment. Because I think like maybe 2 weeks later, she got propositioned with an offer from a different team for the same kind of work. And it doesn't actually matter that it's the same kind of work. That's not the quality axis, because she could actually find a job in the same kind of work that had a completely different energy and energetic experience for her. And we'll come around back to that. So she took that second job because she was scared, not because she actually wanted to. And immediately she gets so sick. And this is what happens with this particular friend. Like, her system is so sensitive to when she goes against the truth for her, that she literally manifests like full-blown, like really crazy, like, sickness. It's not coming from nowhere. So she gets sick, and of course very soon after, she realizes that it's because she took the job, and she's having this awful experience with this job. It's even worse than the last one. It's even worse than the last one. And so she's in this position where she knows she doesn't want to be there, but she's also in this fear loop. Like all of this bullshit about why she can't just leave. Like, oh, she doesn't want to, because this is what the conditioning does. It pulls out the most ridiculous, very logical, like, reasoning that perfectly hits on what the matter is for you. And its goal is to contain you in that box with all of that matter. It's like when you make decisions from that fear-based, not true place, you're putting yourself in this container with the ceiling that is like this, and you're not going to get any kind of experience that's outside of the quality of that box of very uninteresting, boring illusion. You're just not. And like what was happening with this friend, her matter so it was about the money. She didn't want to pull into her savings, like not having a job for whatever period of time before something else would come in after she left, right? So the money was the first matter. That was the main thing. It was the money, and then just the fear that something else that she actually would love doing wouldn't come in. it so perfectly demonstrates how the conditioning will keep you stuck in the same fucking place. Because this is like the really funny part is everybody in her life, like, you know, well-meaning people like her parents and like certain other characters in her life. So they're like, you know, they're all trying to get her to stay at this job because her system is revolting, even though she hasn't made the decision to leave yet. Well, now she has. But before that point, it's like all the well-meaning, like supportive, conditioned people in her life are, you know, their reasoning, their conditioning's reasoning is telling her, which is so perfect because it hits on her own conditioning. Because it's her job to see for herself why she's doing this to herself and creating this suffering and sitting in it, like taking a giant shit and then just sitting right down in it. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, everybody's saying like, oh yeah, just stay at this job, like maybe it'll get better, and you know, in time something better will come. Which is such a lie. But this is how so many people make their choices in life. It's like people will, and I know because I've done this before so many times. You're in a relationship and you know it's maxed out. Like that is not the relationship for you, and you know it. Maybe it was at one point, but you know that it's not for you anymore. You know it's time to leave, but you're scared. And you have all of the conditioned responses to whatever your fear is, like scared there won't be somebody else, scared you can't do better, scared of having to go through the pain of the breakup, scared of, you know, your life like becoming something different after that, right? Like the change, you're scared of the change. And you know, people do it with jobs, with relationships, with literally anything. You keep an item that you don't care for because you're scared you won't find another one, or whatever it is, whatever the matter is. But the thing with that illusion is it keeps that container and that ceiling exactly where it is. So this isn't about time. Her if she was to stay at this job, first of all, she would disintegrate into like severe illness because her system wouldn't allow it. But something better would not come along because she, from that place, she's contained in that illusion of whatever, like this is the quality ceiling. So even if another job was to come, it would be at the same ceiling of quality, nothing higher, nothing better as the one she has now. Versus if and when she actually decides to leave that job with no backup plan, because for her, that's the point. That is the thing that would actually break this entire cycle and pattern, because for her, has actually nothing to do with the job or money. That's like the physical surface illusion presentation. For her, the real matter beneath, oh, it's money, it's the job, it's this and that. No, it's like it looks like that, but the much deeper matter, it's that she feels like she can't be provided for, like she doesn't trust her own field to provide something high quality for her. So her pattern is to stay in experiences and relationships and jobs and situations that are already at a lower quality than what is actually meant for her. This like very beautiful, expansive, like amazing being and woman. And yeah, you can't stay somewhere that isn't for you because you're attached to what might happen and have something better come in. And that leap for her, which she knows that's what she needs to do, is actually just quit with no backup plan, with, you know, no support from her parents or most of the people around her. and free fall. Like actually free fall into the experience of not knowing what is going to happen. But this is the, going back to my last video, this is the magical math equation. Because, you know, neither her and I have any idea. Like, how can you know? And we don't want to know. It's not fun. Like she doesn't actually want to know. Like, the truth of her, like, who she actually is, she doesn't want to know where the next job or, you know, money opportunity is going to come from. And it might not even be a job. She doesn't want to know. That is her turn on. That's what's fun for her. But all of that conditioning is totally eclipsing her actual turn on. And we don't know what's going to happen, obviously. But it is guaranteed. It's inevitable, guaranteed, for fucking certain, that when she leaves that job, something unimaginable is going to come in, because now you've taken that container and that ceiling of that container and you've just blown it the fuck up. You've collapsed it. So now you're not just, everything that's coming into your life is not just this one very predictable, boring, imaginable, like, highway. You're not contained anymore. When you make those kind of choices, you're not contained, and it literally becomes limitless. And it's guaranteed that something absolutely incredible is going to come in for her that is way better, like way better, more suited for her, specifically suited for her, is going to come in to replace the container that was there, that was, you know, keeping her stuck. And that's what that container does. The container, it keeps all of the matter. So all of her fears that she was still buying into, it keeps it all there. And again, you're just sitting in a pile of your own shit and then wondering why nothing is changing or nothing is getting better. And this is where people, and like the mindset, manifestation, all of those kind of circles, where they get it completely wrong. Because what they would do in that case is, you know, they would probably try to stay at the job and try to make yourself, like, feel better in a place that you know you're not meant to be. It's so simple. But they would make it about, you know, changing your beliefs about the job that you hate or the relationship you hate, like improving your emotions, your vibe, your this and your that. And it doesn't work, because it doesn't actually do anything to address the quality issue. And the quality issue is that you're choosing to stay in a fucking container where the quality is exactly the same across the board in every area of your life, because it always is. And this is why people I think pretty much everybody has either experienced this, or you know somebody that has experienced this, if not multiple times. Hey. You know, you stay in that relationship that you don't want to actually be in, and you work on the relationship. And obviously there's a nuance here, because sometimes it's an energetic shift in you that happens that has nothing to do with leaving the relationship. It's a shift in you that happens that creates a completely different blueprint for the relationship, and that raises the quality. So obviously there's a nuance here. It's not just, if you're having a shitty experience in your relationship, that means you have to leave. No. Like, a lot of the time that's actually not the case. But in the cases where you know you have to leave and you're not, and you're choosing to just try to work on yourself and on the relationship, and to adjust yourself and position yourself just right to where you can get yourself sort of, kind of, not really on board with staying, but you stay anyway. and nothing changes for you. But this can drag itself out for a really long time, and this is why it's not about time. Because actually, if you're in a situation in any area of life like my friend, and you know there's a move, she knows there's a move. It's not actually a question for her. Like, she knows she wants to leave. It's just she's spent the last week like coming back with increasingly clever like mental justifications of why she's going to hold off on leaving, to the point where it started killing her from the inside out because she was fabricating lies. And she knew she wanted to leave, like point blank period. It's kind of like, you know, all of this truth living, it's really as simple as, do I want to drink this glass of milk right now? Yes or no? There's nothing bad that's going to happen either way. There's no repercussion. There's no real repercussion. You might say, of course there's not. It's a glass of milk, but actually it applies to anywhere. There's no repercussion for this friend to leave this, you know, good high-paying job. There's no repercussion. All of the repercussions that are cycling through her head, it's like they're fabricated. They're fabricated, and that's just the matter that's contained in that box, that ceiling box, trying to keep itself there, which keeps you in there, which prevents what is actually for you from coming in, no matter how much you rearrange the pieces inside of the box. It's a complete cock block. There's no entry into that box. There's no entry in for something better to come in. It's too full. It's already full. So I'm actually, in regards to the friend, I'm really excited to see what happens for her when she actually leaves the job this week. It's gonna be fucking amazing. And there's a part of her that just like doesn't even know it. But it's gonna be so good, whatever it is that happens. And it's always like this. It's always like this. And everybody has an example of, if you look back in your own history, you certainly have an example of a time where you were so scared to do something about something. It's like you were somewhere where you knew you don't belong there anymore, and you were scared to do something about it, but you know, you finally did, and it just opened up a whole new world for you after. A whole new world that never would have emerged if you hadn't left that situation.